Hi, this is Nathan. Welcome to the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.
Oh, hi there. I'm Dylan James Weaver, but you can call me Dylan. We're just getting ready for a time of humor, analysis, and discovery. Do you care to join us? Because you'll never know what'll happen when you listen to the next Wad Fam Chalk Pod.
Hello and welcome to the Wad Fam Chalk Pod. I'm Andrew Sabo.
And I'm Dylan Weaver.
It's backwards. Dylan relinquished controls and now I'm taking over today.
Can you sense the tension in the room, Chalk Squad?
Oh boy, you could comb your hair with it, to quote the immortal Bart Rathbone. Oh, I can't. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for all the foot in mouth moments that Dylan is going to have to edit out. But today we are here covering episode 256 of Adventures in Odyssey, Aloha Oi, Part 1. This is off album 19, Passport to Adventure, and originally aired January 22nd, 1994.
That's so exciting.
What, hearing me say that?
No, just I'm just trying to come up with what my filler would be here, because there's nothing you can say after that, really.
We're so excited.
I will say this, and we might get into this later, but the with the air date, that puts this after George loses his job, but before the episodes we covered.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's right in the because the end of the album has I think a prayer for George Barkley.
Okay, does it have like the first one?
Yeah,
perfect.
So it's really interesting. Obviously, coincides with what we previously covered concerning George Barkley losing his job and all of that. It's cool that he gets to go on a vacation to Hawaii after losing his job. Doesn't happen many times. But I guess if you
Hawaii?
Right, to Hawaii. I have the pronunciation written out. It's Hawaii. Hawaii is how the natives say it, or at least Don Ioe. Anyway,
we'll get into that.
This episode was written and directed by Phil Lawler,
friend of the pod,
favorite person involved in Adventures in Odyssey. All jokes aside, I absolutely love this episode, and this is an Andrew's Choice 3-parter. Which is
why Andrew's hosting.
Yeah. Why? Absolutely love this episode. The soundtrack and everything is insane, wonderful, so much nostalgia. Very excited to talk about it.
And I barely remember these episodes.
That is good. The roles are reversed from 3 weeks ago. And we are here to talk about it. Let's go through the cast, huh?
Oh,
that's
sure.
what we do on this podcast.
Hey, yeah.
So the airport announcer is voiced by Randy Crenshaw, who also voiced Don Ioe, and anybody else? I don't believe so. Walker Edmiston, obviously voicing Bart Rathbone. Don Ioe, I already mentioned. Donna Ajurjanowski. How do you say it, Dylan?
I think we say Janowski, but I don't know for sure. And, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Pamela Hayden voicing Doris Rathbone.
Now, who is Pamela Hayden?
I don't know. Time to look it up.
She's the original voice of Katrina.
Oh, yes. That makes sense. That's why the name is familiar. And obviously, another cool thing about this album, this is when Katrina becomes more personally involved with Eugene. So cool to see that all tying together for this. Also,
not to steal your thunder, but Randy Crenshaw, connection to our previous thing, he was the original, or maybe not original, but he voiced Steven Strasberg in one episode.
Interesting.
The Slumber Party episode.
Oh, huh. All right.
Which,
wonderful tie-in.
I'm pitching Slumber Party as a really fun guest episode to redeem Michaela from all the horrible ones we've put her through.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That passes at least my board of approval. It's really hard to sneak anything by them, but you've done it.
Any other voice actors we haven't covered before?
I mean, have we talked about Gabriel Encarnacion as Lawrence Hodges?
I think so. I think that there's an episode with Lawrence in the Barkley saga, because he's over for like cake at one point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we were like, why is Lawrence here for cake? And someone wrote at us to be like, look, he went to Hawaii with them and you care about the cake? But to be fair, this episode justifies him going to Hawaii in a way that him eating cake was not justified.
Not at all. At least it was addressed in this episode.
Yeah.
Notably, not very notable beyond Odyssey involvement. I couldn't find anything on his IMDb that I recognized. Did you?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I know nothing about the man.
Okay.
I didn't do research this episode.
Yeah. And I barely did any. I mean, I did some. I looked at the names. I looked him up because I didn't recognize it. With that being said, Dylan, I have a fun, spicy poem to bring us in.
I love this.
I don't know that it's spicy, but it is a poem. So the intro has concluded, along with the commotion. What say you, Dylan? We roll the promotion.
Be sure to pack your surfboard for the next exciting adventure in Odyssey. It's going to be fun in the sun when the Barkleys discover that they've won an all-expenses-paid vacation to Hawaii. They can hardly believe their good fortune. That is, until they find out that the Rathbones are also going along. This is one vacation you don't want to miss. Next time on Adventures in Odyssey.
Love the music. Excellently done. Most of the time doesn't match. I felt like that matched exceptionally well. We love to see it.
Yeah, we really do.
So this episode begins with a wit intro, obviously, and then the classic teaser, which I'm sure Dylan is very excited to try and recreate for this episode. And
what do you mean, Andrew? You're recreating. You're going to edit these too, right?
Oh yeah, I'm in charge of production as well. That's why this episode won't be coming out. The first week we've missed.
If you actually produced this show, you would know that's not true.
So yeah. Anyway, notes just from the intro. An incredible amount of nostalgia. All the sound bites used are incredible, and I'm excited. Just hearing it got me excited to listen to the episode again. So Lawrence and Jimmy are on their way to the Electric Palace. Jimmy is mad at Lawrence because... Lawrence is mad at Jimmy because they left during Rick Ranson, which I think is some sort of play on something. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what... Is it? It's Rick Rancid, right?
Is it?
I thought it was Rick Rancid, but I could be wrong.
That would be funnier and make more sense as a joke.
Yes, it is. The wiki has it as Rick Rancid.
Okay, wonderful.
And this is apparently one of 5 episodes that it's mentioned in.
Yeah, well, because I've heard it mentioned in
Rick Rancid Private Eye.
Yeah, kind of like a spoof on like those 80s procedural cop shows was my impression based on previous references.
Fair enough.
Anyway, they're going to the Electric Palace to get something for Jimmy's dad. Lawrence is upset, threatens to revoke his membership to the Rick Ranson fan club, and Jimmy responds with just an excellent zinger that you would look awfully silly attending those meetings by yourself.
Yeah, establishing that, right, their fan club is just the 2 of them.
Yes, precisely. Then they encounter something that I have fond memories of as a child that I feel is distinct to a certain era of people, and that is a fascination with automatic doors. Lawrence gets very excited. Obviously, I've been known to do the old force trick.
Oh,
on the
Andrew,
doors.
I knew we were going to talk about that.
Yeah, of
because
course.
it's an iconic memory. You
It's a
got to
tried and true
do
classic.
it's the Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Open the door. Then it just
Yep.
happens.
You know where I
so-
specifically did that? Like, I feel like more than other places.
Giant grocery store.
No, CVS.
Interesting.
Because the doors are accordion style and way slower.
Yes, way slower, and also they have a big, nice camera in the small entryway, so you can see how cool you are the whole time.
100%.
That probably has something to do with why we did it so much.
For sure.
So obviously they enter, and then alarms blare off because Jimmy is the 10,000th customer to enter the Electric Palace, and we get Bart Rathbone delivering the iconic line that I will probably say at my wedding. You! No, not you. You! Do you know what you've done?
These are Andrew's vows.
These are my vows. Do you know what you've done? You idiot! You're marrying me?
yeah.
Goodness. So it's revealed he has won an all expense paid trip to Hawaii, and then responded with a resounding Hawaii from both Lawrence and Jimmy. Dylan, what are your feelings thus far?
You know, I'm enjoying it. I like Jimmy and Lawrence. Bart is dialed up to 11 this episode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Hawaii is so... He says it. They say it back to him with a question mark. Understandable. Later in this episode, George will say it.
Oh yeah, George says it like unironically, and then I think
What's happening?
well, Don Ioe doesn't really say Hawaii correctly either.
Yeah, we can get into Don EOA
Don Iowa, as it
in
were.
a little bit. Yeah.
So anyway, the scene then cuts to the Barkley family checking out to make sure that Bart was serious, the trip is legit. Basically, it was sponsored by the Bonsai Corporation, and the Electric Palace sells a bunch of bonsai electronics, so they were, cleared to give away the trip. I would love to see Bonsai Corp come back as being the force behind Novacom, getting their feet on the ground this early in Odyssey. I think that could be a cool tie-in. Not sure, though. And then Lawrence is invited to join.
The Bonsai does sound... I mean, it's not based on a star system, but it could just be another Andromeda subsidy. I like this fan theory, Andrew.
I'm just pitching to Phil, close personal friend, or Hoobs. Hoobs, if you are listening, bring back Bonsai Corp. I think it's important.
That's what the real fans are clamoring for.
Yeah, that's what they are, and that's why I'm hosting the show. So I have the floor, so I can present my argument as to why the Bonsai Corporation is the future of Adventures in
Now,
Odyssey.
would you have remembered Bonsai Corporation without re-listening?
No.
Okay, because so the thing I was thinking about with the Bonsai Corporation is that, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the trivia on the Adventures in Odyssey Club.
Oh yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Bonsai Corporation is like the level of trivia they do. Like,
Yeah, what's the name
listeners,
of the company?
if you don't have it, it is insane. Here, you know what? Let's find out what today's trivia is, because
My favorite new
we
segment.
do this constantly. Like, we do this show.
Yeah.
What legendary voice actor doubled as Professor Otto Harding and Bigfoot?
No clue.
Like,
Who was gonna know that?
it's insanity. And the name is Frank Welker.
Great.
It's like, great, I don't even know who that is.
Oh,
like-
also, it's from episode 915.
Oh, which, like, one that just came out?
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny. But, like, I think once I logged in and was like, I know the answer to this.
Yeah.
But most times, it is so obscure that it would be like, what's the name of the company who pays for the Barclays trip to Hawaii?
Exactly.
And I'd be like,
Samsung?
but like,
Or Samsung? Presumably it's some spoof.
where does this line up in the history of the show? Because, I guess Bonsai Corporation doesn't own the Electric Palace.
No.
Darn. Because you know who does own the Electric Palace? Dr. Regis Blackard.
Yeah, Dr. Regis
Still at this point in the show, I think.
Yeah, and Glossman, too.
Because Whit's still alive. So it's gotta be.
Absolutely delightful.
But, yeah, that's thinking about Blackard being the man who sends them to Hawaii is very funny.
I mean, the books practically write themselves, Phil.
Oh, boy.
I won't buy them, but you can send them to me.
Yeah, look. Phil, if you think they're so essential, send them to us for free.
We'll probably talk about them if we like them. And maybe even if we don't. Anyway, so at this point, we are still at the Barclays house, and Lawrence is reluctantly, jokingly invited to join.
Oh, my word. I love the whole family being in on this bit.
Yeah.
It is great. It is very dumb, but it is great.
Lawrence, yes! Can you think of anybody? What? Of course you're invited to join. It was actually, it's funny, and it holds up well.
Yep. I agree.
And then we jump right to the airport, where the Barclays are excited to go on their vacation. They're thinking about, bumming around on the beach all day. We get reference to Hawaii 5 Aloha, which...
Barely a joke.
Yeah, barely a joke.
I mean, look, I'll give it this. It's better than Guilt Trip Jeopardy.
Fair. But only, marginally?
You know what it's far worse than? 2200.
Yeah. Fair. Excellent point.
You don't get these jokes. Listen to our episode with Andrew Taven. It's a good time.
Please do. It is actually a great time.
One of my favorite episodes we've done.
Yeah, honestly. And I didn't even host that one.
That's why it's one of my favorite episodes we've
done. So then they're talking about their beach vacation. It's going to be great. They're looking forward to doing nothing. Then, of course, the Rathbones show up. And they come in the most comic book way with, presumably Hawaiian shirts on and a camera around their neck. Get everybody together.
The moment that Mary sees them coming down the hall is so good.
Yeah.
Because it feels so real.
Yeah.
And she it's like her throwing an elbow at her husband and just being like, don't look now. But Bart Rathbone and his family are coming towards us.
Yeah.
And they,
what?
He flashes them in the face with this, the classic camera.
Oh, yeah. And it's a regular Kodiak moment. It's a wonderful Bartism. And I accredit to my confusion between which is the camera company and which is the mountain range throughout my life.
Oh. I don't know that I knew that Kodiak was mountain range.
Yeah, the Kodiak Mountains and Kodiak pancakes and all that wonderful stuff.
Nope. This is my first hearing it.
Well, then Kodak, also cameras. I have a friend who worked for Kodak, and I completely couldn't remember it for the life of me.
Calling it Kodiak?
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, I was in Maine, too. It was real bad. Really showing my green card. It's actually different. Green cards are different in Maine now. Anyway... We get a wonderful line from Jimmy that says, aside from a case of fried eyeballs, I'm fried. I'm fried, sir. To which I was going to say, I use that line a lot. But I seem to have Freudian slipped my way to the punchline.
I like the runner that is very, very funny of nobody in this episode respecting Bart and Doris at all, but Jimmy still calling him sir.
Yeah.
These episodes exist for them to just dunk on the Rathbones.
Oh, 100%.
But he is an adult who is not your parent, so you have to show respect.
So he's Mr. Washington. Mr. and Mrs. Washington.
Rathbone.
Yes, precisely. You gotta treat them with the respect that their age requires.
I was also thinking about the craziness of, like, the Rathbones more or less existing in the same state for 10 years.
Oh.
Like, the fact that they interact with the Washington family
Yeah, that is fair.
is, like, wild.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was kind of when Odyssey realized that they needed to get rid of some people.
Well, and also Walker Edmondson passing away did not help matters.
No, certainly not.
But-
Rest in peace.
But yes, it's very funny. And, yeah.
What do you think God's conversations with Walker Edmondson and Will Ryan are like about Odyssey? Because presuming there's like sit down one-on-one FaceTime conversations, you would imagine it would come up. And I don't know if they're bringing it up out of like pride and being like, look at this cool thing we did.
I think it's probably God going, it was really amazing, Walker, when you did that debate with yourself in Tom for Mayor. I can't believe you pulled that off so well.
I like that. I think that that's the take God has on that episode as well.
I think that he has that take, and he also has the take of, they shouldn't have gotten rid of Officer Harley. I'm sorry, Will. You deserved better.
Yeah, you definitely could have had, two hats as opposed to just some Coke bottle glasses.
I liked what they did with Harlow Doyle, but he just never reached the highs of Officer Harley.
No, Officer Harley.
Because he didn't have real authority.
Yes, exactly. He's just, kind of a Muppet, essentially bumbling in and out, being like, I know, I'm Beaker.
He very much is a Muppet.
Yeah.
Says Dylan, who has seen no Muppets.
But says Andrew, who has seen all the Muppets. I think all of them. Disney put out a special that I've been forcing myself to rewatch just so I can say that I've seen it all. But
Okay.
yeah, we're doing our best to keep up.
Okay.
Anyway,
we gotta go back to the Muppet verse.
yes, obviously that's our next movie night in the barn I'm gonna host. That will never happen.
Yep. The last time I tried to get Andrew to host something,
I sent out a group text twice. And honestly, I'm impressed that it wasn't just the once.
yeah, no, that's fair. That was a lot of effort you put forth there.
So anyway, next scene, they're on the flight. This is a really cool scene because it takes advantage of their setting, being on a plane, to show the different character dynamics of Doris and Mary, Rodney and Donna, and Bart and George.
And Jimmy and Lawrence.
And Jimmy and Lawrence, obviously.
Because we set up what I assume is a very important part of this storyline, which is Lawrence, his father, is in the military, in the Navy specifically.
Yes.
And has been to Hawaii a bunch. And Lawrence is like, it would be good to see him.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if I got off the plane and he was waiting for me.
Also, here's the thing that I just literally found out while we were doing this. Did you... I don't know why. I always have assumed Lawrence was black.
Honestly, I always assumed the exact opposite. Like, I assumed the palest, shortest, most...
I just clicked...
And we were wrong, because he's definitely just, like,
I clicked
Hispanic.
on him. I clicked on him in the wiki, and he's a white kid.
Yep.
I don't know why that was my mental picture, but now I'm a little upset that I ruined it.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, Odyssey just wasn't at that point of inclusion yet.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently, were there any people of color before the Washingtons?
Not, long-term characters, no.
Yeah. Slaves in some history episodes?
Yes, yeah, that would count. Perhaps Imagination Station people from Rome.
No. Jesus was white, Andrew.
Oh, duh, yes. But the Romans weren't.
Which is why they're the bad guys.
Yes, exactly. Oh, boy. Can you tell I'm hosting this episode?
See, I make the jokes that get cut now, Chop Squad. It's a reversal.
Oh, we love to see it. So Lawrence is upset, and Jimmy comforts him in a really sweet way, which obviously reminds me of the wonders of their relationship at this time in the show. And Jimmy gets Lawrence some pair of pilot's wings, and they kind of play pretend on the plane together that they're, what is it? They're a crippled 747 jetliner trying to crash land. And the stewardess comes up and asks if they can get anything, and Jimmy asks for pilot's wings so they can land. It's really sweet and cute and makes me smile. And you are right. Lawrence's dad in the Navy is important.
Hey, no spoilers, Andrew.
No spoilers. Then Doris and Mary, where Doris's horrifying habit of just stealing everything is released. She's excited to collect souvenirs. It's the classic quintessential caricature of like the white person on vacation. They just want all the souvenirs they can get. Mary says that they're practicing frugality because George lost his job. Didn't say that, but we all know.
Right.
If you know,
yeah, exactly. The true fans know.
Yeah. That they're not buying stuff they don't need. To which Doris replies, "Well, you don't always need money for souvenirs."
Ooh.
Mischief. And then we get Rodney and Donna. And the stewardess is making her way around, asking what Donna wants to drink and anything for her boyfriend. And Donna and Rodney proceed to flip out at the possibility that they could be confused for romantic lovers because they are sitting next to each other on a plane to Hawaii.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in a weird rabbit hole. I would like to point out, just so we're clear on this.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Incarnation is not white.
Yeah, no.
But the character of Lawrence is white.
Yes.
That is a thing I realized I did not say, but I needed to re-clarify.
Yeah.
That...
Well, I was
I
was confused that he was... I thought that he was white and he was actually Hispanic. Like...
Yeah, no, I realized we just, like, the way I said that was not clear. And
Excellent. Now Dylan's doing the one. Now Dylan's the one doing backtracking, face saving. I love to see it.
I know.
Love to see it. This is just, this is role reversal. This is scripts. I mean, we could have some time afterwards and reflect as to what, we would think that each other would say in certain situations during the pod. I think this would be a real learning experience for us. Yeah. Anyway, so Donna and Rodney get in a fight. Dodney, my favorite ship name.
I mean, look, I'm not...
Or Rana? I like Dodney better.
Either or. Look, I kind of love it.
Oh, no, I do too.
It is a trope I am a fan of, and I still think Rodney sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't expect him to fully figure himself out in this episode, but the, like, bully... Actually, like the bully with a heart of gold kind of trope, I adore.
Oh, yeah.
And as dumb as it is that the stewardess is all presumptuous about the fact that they're dating and makes like,
she makes like 3 comments about it. She's like, well, you could fall in love. And they're like, no. Like, right. This is your job. You clocked in to say, well, you could fall in love in Hawaii.
Right. But it's like, I am kind of rooting for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, and they're so funny together because Donna is a teenage girl. She ain't going to put up with nothing.
Like, I like this
Rodney
way better.
Everything.
I like this way better than the Rodney and Connie thing that they do in Novacom.
Yeah, that's horrifying. That's yucky.
This is just, I like it. They feel like peers. Mm-hmm. Rodney obviously sucks, and Donna's the best, as we've previously talked about. But there is something to it where I'm just like,
Interesting. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Well, I would love a flash forward, maybe they end up together type situation, or, perhaps a young adult series about them dating in college. And
whoa.
Yeah, I think focus is definitely, it's high time for them to extend the Odyssey property beyond 8 to 12.
The idea of doing a, like, Odyssey grown up book series, because then you don't have the problem of the actors nor do you have like getting the actors back, nor do you have the problem of like kids on the radio not knowing these characters.
Yeah.
And the problem of just dealing with like stuff that's way more adult. But I really like this idea, Andrew.
Oh, no, I totally do. Because I think that's what Odyssey's great at. And the fact that they've pretty much, bottlenecked themselves into that 4-year age perspective really limits the kind of content that they can use.
Well, we've talked about new Odyssey, like 90s Odyssey, and even early 2000s, kind of pre-reboot, them having a more broad scope and doing episodes that were like just with adult characters or weren't for like 8 to 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Primarily,
though they could still enjoy them because like the show's
it's a family show.
Family show. But like the idea of like Odyssey the college years or something.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we have so many characters that we could use.
Right, you could just reuse all the pre-reboot characters who haven't come back.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, give me, oh my word, I would kill for Trent and Mandy in even high school.
Oh yeah,
would be so fun.
They could make a young adult, like a high school romantic relationship guide type thing. I mean,
sure.
There's such a huge market within, Christian media for like age-specific stuff.
Look, make this for me.
Yes.
So, there's got to be someone listening who's in some way involved with Adventures in Odyssey.
Well, we have the Hoobs email.
I mean, we do.
I don't know if I
we
feel
just
comfortable.
Code pitch him with, hey, neither of us can write, but we had a great idea.
That'll go over great. I'm sure that's never happened before, and he will leap at the opportunity.
Yeah. Have we gone on the hunt for Odyssey fanfic before?
No, I don't think so.
Andrew, we now have a twice monthly paywalled thing.
That's what that's for. For us reading Odyssey fanfic
we
together.
We have to do at least one fanfic episode.
Yes.
All right. We're making this happen.
Idea.
If you
put it
listening,
in the doc.
If you listening know of any Odyssey fanfic or have written any Odyssey fanfic, and feel like emailing it to us, we're open to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Love the idea of reaching out. And hey, maybe collectively we can make something happen, and we're not just cold pitching it to Hoobler. We can crowdsource this and pitch it that way.
Oh my word!
I mean,
yeah. I'll reach out to the Adventures in Odyssey creators Discord.
Yes,
which is a thing I am a part of. People who create fan.
How active is that Discord?
I don't know. I don't Discord. It's not very active.
Okay. I Discord more than you do, so I feel like I should join it.
Yeah, I can send you the link.
That'd be great.
This is
put it in the show notes.
This part's getting cut, but the previous bit we're keeping in.
Yes. Wonderful. So anyway, the final duo is Bart and George.
Wait, did we talk about Mary and?
Yeah, about them
stealing
all the stuff.
Yes, never mind. You're right.
She hasn't gotten caught yet. So Bart and George are on the plane.
Yes, that's the thing I wanted to talk about, but that comes later. See, I'm doing the Andrew thing.
Where you get ahead of yourself. This is a nightmare.
I wish this was intentional, but it's not.
Oh my goodness.
So
they're... Bart is pitching for them to get off the beaten path. They don't want to, go to the Pearl Harbor, USS Arizona. How boring.
They don't. And George so badly wants to go to those
things.
He
wants the warmest
path. The man has
path.
done nothing. Like, he is a Christian dad. Yep. There is nothing he wants more than to see a military base.
Oh, yeah. War memorials, all of that. And then with a side of doing nothing. Is really the tandem there. It's military and just straight R&R.
Yeah. Did we talk earlier? There's the joke about like Donna just wants to get a tan.
No, we didn't mention it, but yeah, Donna does want to work on her tan.
Right. Now the question is, having previously established Donna's relationship to Modesty.
Yes. My guess is it's a tankini that she flips up the flap.
Ah, classic youth group move.
Yep. Got to keep
There
that
you go.
tan even. You'll just look like you were tanning in a sports bra. It's fine. You know, you work around it as best you can. Or you just full send it and go with the onesie, which seems incredibly uncomfortable, just in the way it pulls everything up and down at the same time.
Yeah. I don't think I could rock the unitard life, but you never know until you try.
I guess I have to get into wrestling to find out.
Might be a little late for that, Andrew.
Yeah. Only a couple illnesses getting in the way of my wrestling career. So their flight lands, and the kids run off together, and Doris is pulled aside as she's exiting the plane for stealing, what is it? So it's the
everything.
blanket,
it's the blanket and
pillow,
pillow, it's silverware, it's glasses, it's the life preserver.
the flotation device.
Right.
Is there...
Probably
thing.
something else, and the purse.
Yes, and the bag. The bag itself is airline property.
No, it's
the
not
bag
airline
is my
property.
property.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a real funny bit. It's horrifying a bit. This is definitely pre 9/11. I feel like there would have been a lot more significant consequences.
Also, in my experience, the blanket and pillow and stuff they provide on the plane, you absolutely can take.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least on my single international flight that I've done 4 times, but
Yeah, yes, you can definitely take them. Well, but I mean, they just wash them and reuse them. It's like they're bulk rags, essentially. Like,
but
they're not going to notice one disappearing. But Doris did try and sneak it out in the stewardess's bag. So.
Right, which bad move.
Classic mistake.
Also, like, Pamela Hayden as Doris Rathbone, like, if you thought Bart was going hard with his voice...
Oh, Pamela Hayden puts him to shame. I want all your lays when you're finished with them.
Doris is so much.
She's so much. And we'll get to kind of how that came to be when we look at the official guide for the episode.
Also, if this was any other show's Hawaii episode, they'd be making all the jokes about getting laid.
Yep.
But they can't do it because it's Odyssey.
Nope. Rather, well, maybe Rodney was confused about that. Because Rodney gets very upset when a man's trying to put a flower necklace on Donna.
Right.
And Donna's like, this is a traditional Hawaiian greeting. It's fine. And Rodney's like, that's a pass at your honor. And I'm like, what? Even if he was giving her a flower necklace, how is that a pass at her honor?
I love that I love that Rodney, being the most secular character in Odyssey,
is concerned with Donna's modesty.
Still has 1800 chivalry built into him.
Oh, definitely. Well, certainly when he has something to prove, which has been made abundantly clear by the previous scene.
Yeah.
So, Lay's getting laid, just wonderful, and then in walks the man of the hour, Don Iowa. How do you spell that? D-O-M? No, the other one. I-O-W-A.
Iowa? Yes, that's where I'm from originally.
Yes.
Don Iowa, the discount Duncan, Idaho.
Don't know who that is.
Have you seen Dune?
Like the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Duncan?
Duncan, Idaho is Jason Momoa's character.
Oh, interesting. That's
is
a good
Hawaiian.
joke. Yes. Okay, all right, full circle. Thank you for helping me connect those dots.
But it's the same name.
Yes, it is.
And the best thing is, Duncan, Idaho, a character who existed before this was written, but not canonically Hawaiian. That's only in this past year.
Yeah. So, what came first, chicken or the egg?
And this is where I want to point out. So Randy Crenshaw is a white man. Mm-hmm. He's a very white man.
He sounds like it.
He is, he does a bunch of, movie and television singing.
Okay.
He's a go-to. If we just need a voice that sings, this is the guy.
Interesting.
And so
So presumably they got him just for the humming that he does in between scenes, or is that just like I can do that, maybe we should incorporate it?
Yeah, I don't know. It is everything Don Iowa is a insane choice.
Yes. Yeah, all of it. His name, his background, his accent, his pronunciation of the name Hawaii.
the whackness of he is they're doing this thing that I can't decide if I'm going to let off the hook or not.
I can't tell if it's a joke or not.
It is a joke. Because he says, like, he's from Iowa originally.
Yeah.
But then in order for the joke to land, I feel like he's got to drop the accent.
Yes.
After that.
But he doesn't.
So
it just
the writers,
feels
clearly wanted him to keep doing it.
Yeah, they want him to sound Hawaiian.
But then they wrote it off. So they made the joke that he used to be from Iowa, not that he's a guy putting on a fake accent.
Yeah.
I don't... This is a reference for very few people, but the movie Licorice Pizza, there is a character who does a terrible Asian, possibly Korean intent accent in it that then is a joke. The joke of the movie is, look how unself-aware this guy is. He's a complete fool, and we're all the characters in the movie are laughing at his stupidity.
Yeah. That's not what's happening here.
But that's what this should be.
Yeah, it definitely should be.
If you're going to do it, that's the only way you can get away with it.
You make the joke about people from big corporations not having any cultural appreciation for what they do.
Right. And look, I'm not here to be like...
We're a couple white guys. We're not the ethnicity police.
We are absolutely a couple white guys, and I also don't want to be like, oh yes, this is like a big problem in Odyssey, because Lilo of Lilo and Stitch is also white. So and that's
he is an alien. Wait, no, Lilo, not Stitch.
No, not Stitch, Lilo, and that's clearly less culturally sensitive
than this. At least he's not pretending to be from Hawaii,
right? If we're going to get frustrated with this, not to try and excuse this, but just to understand, you could kind of get away with anything in voice acting up until very recently.
Fair. Yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah. Also, you've seen Donnie Darko or no? Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, so another wonderful thing about Don, as mentioned, is his singing. And he sings the transition.
You consider this wonderful?
It's nice. It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not better if I do it. I think that makes it worse. But he then catches up the Barclays and the Rathbones as to what's going on that night. There's a big luau being thrown by the Bonsai Corporation.
And they're going to be guests of honor.
Yep.
And Bart doesn't care.
Nope, not even a little bit. Which, also, not great for the culture, man. not a great move. And then Rodney is assaulted by a lady because he's stealing her bag, trying to help Donna get her bag from the baggage claim.
He goes to grab Donna's bag
I'll
to
get
be
it
chivalrous,
for you.
and Donna's like, no. And he's like, no, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And grabs it. And then some woman, beats
him
the crap out of him.
With her
and
purse,
Donna's like,
presumably?
I was trying to tell you that wasn't my bag.
Yeah. No,
Good
it's
bit.
actually, it's really funny. And then, yeah, so we then cut to, I think it's like outside the hotel, presumably.
Yes.
Or at the resort. Don is giving a history of Hawaii, kind of, how the islands were founded. It's the only one of the original 50 states, or one of the 50 states that was ever a royal kingdom, which is a cool thing. Maybe we should give it back to them. Just a thought.
Yeah. Fun trivia. Also, colonialism.
Yeah, I have not mixed feelings on that at all. And then Lawrence obviously gets swept up in the imagination of King Kamehameha, leading his warriors into battle, and kind of runs off in a cute little bit, which is fun. Which leaves Rodney, Donna, and Donnie. Rodney gets in trouble for picking flowers in front of the resort to give to Donna, and Donna's like, "Those were on display. They're for a contest."
And he's like, "At least I've got good taste."
Yeah.
Which is
And
good.
then Donna is obviously frustrated. I think she goes off to work on her tan, I think. Or no, she said she's going to go off and watch the surfers. And Don then takes Rodney aside and kind of gives him a bit of the lore about how people in Hawaii have traditionally wooed their women with great feats of athletics and daring deeds.
Which is also how Andrew's gotten all of his girls.
Oh, yeah, no, it's how fast I can pass out. They're like, wow, I didn't expect it to be that soon. Hot dog, this guy's really special. He was just right up and then right back down. And all you have to do is dehydrate him? That's pretty interesting.
Gotta save that for later. It's Jimmy goes back to the hotel.
Oh, yes.
To get his, to try and find his parents and that. And Lawrence is just off doing Lawrence imagination stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. And Donna is Donna tanning at this point already?
She says she's going to watch the surfers.
Oh, that's right. Watching the surfers, of course. Because very important.
And tanning,
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you can't do one without the other.
The flap is up for the surfers, presumably.
I hate that.
I think it's a funny joke, but talking about a 16-year-old that way is horrifying. If she's even 16 in this episode, which
right? Who knows?
Don't even know. I think
what's an age in Odyssey?
What's in an age? Yeah. So there's a whole fiasco between George and Bart about his shorts because he split them right up the middle.
Yep, and then he borrows shorts from George. Meanwhile, Doris steals their shampoos and towels.
Naturally.
For gifts.
For their relatives for Christmas.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Because the Rathbons are cheap, guys.
Did you get
Whereas the Barkleys are frugal.
Mm-hmm.
These are different things. One is a virtue, and one makes you a joke.
Yep. Gotta love it. It's such a fun line to walk. They all reconvene on the beach, and they're making plans for the day. Bart says that he doesn't want to do any of the touristy stuff, that he's going to go talk to Donnie and make sure that they're able to do whatever they want and they can go off the beaten path.
Yep.
Which
is definitely going to get him into trouble.
Yes. Oh, yes. 100%. I mean, there's 2 more parts after this. Granted, this was a 20-minute episode, which
really,
you feel...
It was 23. I have 23 minutes on the... Maybe not.
I don't know.
Who knows?
It felt
the
very
times
short.
On the OA Club, not clear.
Not consistent at all. I feel like I'm missing something.
I don't think so, because now we have the big climax of this episode.
Yes.
Which is...
Where's Rodney?
Right, they're trying to figure out where everyone is, and it's like Lawrence is running around, Donna's watching the surfer, and they're like, where's Rodney? And Donnie Iowa is like... And Don Iowa is like... not letting him have that.
No.
Also, his last name is the place that he's from.
Yeah, that is bonkers. And
at least Duncan, Idaho lives in a universe without the place of Idaho.
Yes. Well, and Don Iowa, if your last name was Iowa, he'd be infinitely more likely to be Native American than anything else.
Fair. So Rodney
And he's headed for the pier.
is out on a surfboard. And yeah.
He's caught a sick wave.
I know.
He's standing up, presumably.
I mean, the album artwork has him laying down.
Yeah. Well, if we look at the album artwork, the crest of the wave behind, the way my understanding of surfing works is that you're prone until the very last second when you stand up.
Okay.
So whether he ever gets
You
up
think
or
he's
not,
brave
I
enough
don't
to
know.
stand up?
I think that is clarified in the next episode, to be honest with you.
Ooh, okay. Well, we don't want to spoil that.
No, certainly not. Bart makes a wonderful comment. Hang on to nothing. Hang 10, my boy. That's my boy. It's just great father moments here. And that's the end of the episode.
That's it, folks.
It just drops right out from underneath you with Rodney hurling towards a pier, presumably about to die. A little bit about this episode from the Odyssey official guide. This episode was intended as a spoof of the television sitcoms such as The Brady Bunch and Happy Days that inevitably had episodes take place in unusual or exotic locations.
Yeah, yep. I mean, like, so many sitcoms have done this.
Yeah.
There's the Spring Break episode of Gilmore Girls.
Mm-hmm.
There's
It's a great episode.
I mean, hey, look, it is. It's not Hawaii, but there's a bunch of iCarly. Oh, I go to Japan.
Yes.
There's like a couple different like iCarly trip episodes. There's I mean, like they all do it because it's just like, hey,
Mix it up.
Right.
Might as well.
what if we threw these characters into a different location?
Another fun little tidbit, Captain Quid, which we have not met yet, next episode.
Whoa. Then we talk about this tidbit next episode,
Okay,
Andrew.
then we talk about
Do you not know how to host, sir?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. We'll talk about Captain Quid next week and his potential link to other movies.
Good.
Wonderful. Yeah, so, Dylan, thoughts on the episode? Obviously, this was my choice.
Oh, yeah. Fun. Mm-hmm. Is it the... it can't be. But I was going to say, is it the most problematic episode we've covered? I don't think it is.
No, not at all.
But I do have a lot of questions about Mr. Idaho.
Oh, yes.
Or Iowa.
I have several problems that I never had as a child, mind you. Listen to this countless times.
Oh, wait. We did not talk about his most egregious thing.
What?
How did we ignore this?
I don't know. Please
He's
tell me.
giving Rodney advice, and he says something in Hawaiian. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Oh, yes! Oh, yes. Yes. That was horrifying.
I am uncomfortable even saying it.
It's,
Do I just insert the clip?
yeah, I mean, you're the one producing this show, man.
It's wild. I could not believe it. But he's like, it either means this thing about love, or
Right on my, brown brother.
he says brown brother.
Which, again, is this man supposed to be ethnic? He doesn't sound it, but he definitely sounds like he's trying to.
Well,
Horrifying.
I do not know. I do not know what this is, but it shook me.
It is bad. I know what it is, and it's bad.
It's so bad. I could not believe that we were hearing that.
I'm sure, I mean, the 90s, it was a different time. There were jokes like this being made on television.
Yes, I am sure.
However, none of them were good. And I think I would be equally
agreed.
as repulsed.
Yeah, I would be right. I would be just as thrown if I was watching an episode. I mean, there are episodes of, like, Friends and stuff that are,
Upsetting.
yes. So it's not, I'm not trying to be like, this is an Odyssey problem specifically, but it is.
Boy, Odyssey could have not made it their problem, though.
Right!
They could have just not.
It's an open-ended joke.
Yeah.
You can put anything there, and the joke is that he doesn't know the language right, and so he was trying to say this, but he might have said that. That joke is used constantly throughout pop culture.
It could have been anything else.
You didn't have to say
It could have been those flowers are for a contest. Like
you could have dropped one of the words, and I wouldn't have questioned it.
yeah, right on, brother. Then we're fine. No problems here. Right on, my brother.
Yep. It is. It's
Wonderful.
insane.
I'm so glad.
Yeah,
that
I cannot believe that we nearly missed that.
See, this is why I'm not allowed to host.
No, I mean, hey, either of us could have brought that up. That's
True.
That's not an Andrew problem.
True. And
But-
I'm just gonna say we saved the best for last, and by that I mean worst.
Yeah, that's true. I'm excited to see where the Donna and Rodney stuff goes. What happens with Dodney over these next couple episodes could be fun. I'm into more hijinks and curious to see kind of how they land the plane with the Lawrence and his dad thing. I think this was a good setup episode that did more than just set up.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the reasons that I like this 3-parter so much is that like it's a strong example in my mind of like a first parter that's exciting, a middle that's exciting, and then an ending that's exciting, and it all makes sense together, which is hard to come by.
Hey, there you go. And we'll see if I agree as we continue.
I could disagree as well. It's been a long time since I've listened to all 3 parts.
Fair enough. Maybe the next one's even more problematic.
That's my fear. Andrew chose the problematic one.
Look, we gotta cover them, buddy.
Oh yeah, I mean, it had to be done.
Better this than ties the bind.
Amen. Yeah, no, not no. No.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dylan. Any closing thoughts for today?
I think those were my closing thoughts.
Yeah, I think those are my closing thoughts as well. I am terrified as to how upset I'm going to be with Don Yowei. But yeah, I'm excited to maybe host again. I don't know.
Oh no, you're doing the 3-parter, Andrew.
All right, this is gonna be great.
You've
guys.
already gotten your sea legs. Now you just
That's
gotta
true.
stay standing. You're already on the surfboard with the wave crashing behind you. Now you just gotta stand up and hang 10.
I just gotta hang 10. Gotta hang 10, my boy. All right. With that being said, we will see you next week, you wonderful, supportive listeners of this podcast, with episode 257, Aloha Oi, Part 2. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wad Fam Chalk Pod is a presentation of the Lidditz Podcast Co-op. This show is a fan podcast and has no official affiliation with Adventures in Odyssey or Focus on the Family. As such, the copyright is ours under Creative Commons. Follow the podcast at WadFamChalkPod on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at wadfamchalkpod@gmail.com. Aloha Oi Part 1 was hosted by Dylan Weaver and Andrew Acebo and edited by Dylan Weaver. And I'm Nathan Haverstick, hoping you'll join us again next time for more of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.